Well, you remember yesterday we put them into water. They've been here for 24 hours and they are getting soft. This is pinnekjøtt from lamb. It's the ribs from the lamb and other pieces as well. They were pretty dry and pretty salt, and now they are, well, coming along. Now we're going to steam them. I'm placing this down at the bottom of the pot here. So when I'm adding water, the water is underneath here because we don't want to boil it, we want to steam them. And then we put the meat into this. Now, there we go. And steaming it now for about, well, I guess 3 hours at least. Putting a top over it and, well, let the heat do the rest. And while the meat is steaming, we are going to make the rutabaga stew. Some call it Swede. We call it kålrabi in Norway. And what you need is basically the main product and carrots, salt and pepper for a start. And now the rutabaga and the carrots are cleaned, and now we are going to chop them up in really tiny pieces. And then we're going to boil it. And here it is, ready to boil. And boil it until it is very, very tender, almost falling apart, right? Then we are going to add some boiled potatoes and stuff, but I'm going to show you that. Well, I'm not going to show you how to boil potatoes, but what we do in Norway is that we add a bit of salt on the potatoes, and then water, of course, and then we boil them. That makes them taste much better. And now the rutabaga and the carrots are done. Now we're going to crunch it and add a couple of potatoes or mashed potato, like that instant stuff, a bit of that, and that's for a start. Today I'm just using instant mashed potatoes, just 2-3 tablespoons, just to binding it together. Now the rutabaga stew is done, but now we are going to taste it with adding a bit of the broth from the meat steaming down there, and we're going to add that because that's pretty salt, so we are very careful with just putting salt into this right now. Just added some of the broth, approximately half a cup, and now it has that very, very nice taste, and it's salt enough. Added some pepper, and now it's ready. And while we are waiting, just one. Well, the meat is steamed, and now we're putting it onto this one, and we are going to put it into the oven and grill it a bit, getting a fine crust on them. And now, this is the best thing about it. Now it's in the oven, and we are going to grill it until we can see that it gets this nice crust. Okay? And taking care of the broth from the steaming process, that is the gravy here. And while waiting, I think I'll have another. And here it's done after the grilling. Fine brown crust, and it smells salt meat. Doesn't really smell anything, but it's so good. And here it is, pinnekjøtt, rutabaga stew, potatoes, and of course tyttebær, you call them lingonberries, and some really good Christmas beer and a small akkevitt. This is a Christmas tradition in Norway. It used to be mostly on the western side of the country, and the north, but now it's all over the country. People have this meal not only for Christmas, but in like we call Christmas tables, gatherings of companies and stuff. Before Christmas, we have this food. Enjoy.